Good evening, everybody. It's me, Lacey, once again. Just wanted to come on and share some things that really got me fired up just a little bit ago. So I really hope that these videos have been encouraging you guys, motivating you guys. They've been helping me a lot. And so it's my desire to just share stuff that has really helped me and to help us all just keep pushing forward in this beautiful, incredible journey that we're all on. I hope we're all on it together and that you're motivating each other. Anyway, when you guys do join in, just send me a thumbs up, just shout out to me something, just let me know that you're there. And I'm going to continue to do this because it's part of my recovery, I'm finding out. And I love sharing what I've learned. So, the title of the topic is Healing for the Head. I'm going to say that again. Healing for the head, in the thought realm, the emotional realm, how we're feeling, how we're doing, how we're going to move forward into this new life with this new body, and the head isn't straight. The head isn't in the right place. And so anyway, I'm sitting there and little tidbits back and forth to eat, to nibble, whatever. And immediately, just because I've trained myself in the past year or so, I'm finding out that a lot of that needless nibbling, needless eating had so much to do with the things that I wasn't dealing with emotionally, either emotionally or some kind of work I need to do in order to get my head on straight. So I see somebody's joining me. Send me a thumbs up. Let me know you're there. Anyway, this journey just cannot be about getting our bodies straight. The first nugget that you will always, we will always have a struggle if we make this journey about the weight only. So I'm sitting there and I'm feeling this thing in me. I'm feeling the brat. I've called it the brat in videos past, and times wanting to just do the thing that it used to do before the procedure happened, before this new life has taken hold to me, right? So I'm starting to think, wait a minute, I need to get up and do some work because I feel an urge. I feel an urge to do something that I don't want to do, that I don't need to do. So I need to do some work. So immediately I got my book. I got a notebook I keep, notebook, pencil. And I said, I need to start writing. I need to start doing some work. So this work that I'm talking about is the work that has to happen, that it is detrimental to our progress if we don't do this mental work. We're working so hard on the physical, and we're leaving the mental work behind. Why? It's so much easier to just deal with the physical part. The mental part, that's the part that we're going to have to take some time and sit down and really start to allow God, if you will. No, allow God. I don't know how many of you guys are Christians or what your belief system is, but I'm a Christian, so I'm just going to speak freely. But we have to sit down and allow the process of detangling and unpacking the mental, emotional part that we have not dealt with concerning obesity and emotional compulsive overeating. During my process, that's the part that I chose to focus on the most, because the eating part, look, we can write diet books ourselves. Any of us who've done any kind of diets, we know about carbs, we know about fat burning, we know about all of that stuff. But the mental, emotional part of it that we haven't dealt with, or we haven't dealt with long enough to start seeing progress in that part of our area, we have to deal with. I need somebody to say we have to deal with. I have to deal with my emotional stability concerning this journey. If I don't, If we don't deal with it, we're going to struggle. And I don't know about you. I did not have an $80,000 surgery to be on this side and be struggling. That's foolishness to me. How could I have been 300 pounds and struggling and now have lost a huge amount of weight, or wherever you are in your journey, whether you're just starting out or whether you've lost a large amount of weight, and still be struggling? So something is wrong, and it has nothing to do with our body. It has to do with our mind. It has to do with our hearts, and it has to do with our mind. So we have to take care of that. So what I did, I grabbed some books. I'm going to name a few books. You can go back and rewatch this video and get the names of the book and hopefully invest in it to start some healing journey for your life. One of the book is called Daring Greatly. I know it's backwards, so I'm not even going to show it. It's Daring Greatly by Brene Brown, Brene Brown, Daring Greatly. It is an incredible book. She talks about vulnerability. She talks about shame, and she unpacks it in such a way that you can begin to look at your life. I'm looking at it at my life. Just a few pages that I've read has really impacted me in a different way. And that may be a reason for the little nudge to get up and nibble on something. And I'm not hungry, so there's no need to nibble if I'm not hungry, right? So what else is going on? It's not my body calling for food. So my head I have to take some time to start unpacking some stuff. Another book that's great is called Healing for Damaged Emotions. I'm going to say that title again. It's called Healing for Damaged Emotions. The author name is David A. Seamands. It's SEAMANDS. Healing for Damaged Emotions. We've gone through so much stuff during our formative years. We do not really understand how impactful those things was, and how those things, stuff that happened to us when we were 4 and 5, is still sticking to us. Hey, Jazzy, I just hear, and Layla, I believe your name is. I'm so glad you guys have joined me. I just got fired up just thinking about this and thinking, Lacey, you need to do some head work. When I don't do head work, my flesh or my body, not my body, the old Lacey, the old obese fat brain, that brat starts talking when I'm not doing the head work. So I wanted to come on and share about head work. Another beautiful book that you guys can invest in is A Course in Weight Loss. It's by Marianne Williamson. It is an incredible book. I'm going to say the title again. It's A Course in Weight Loss. Marianne Williamson. It is an incredible book. It will help you unpack what's going on in your heart and in your head, so that we're not looking great on the outside, but our brains are jacked up. That's where the struggle is. The struggle isn't in the body. The struggle is in the head. Okay, so I did a post earlier. Hey, Christine. Hi, it's good to see you on here. I did a post earlier. Well, it might have just been yesterday. Don't do it to get the weight off, but do it to get the person you were meant to be out. I'm going to say that again. I can't do this just to get the weight off. If I do this, ladies, if we do this just to get the weight off and not do this in order to get the person that we were meant to be out, we will struggle, because, Julia, the numbers will never move as fast as we want them to move. The numbers will never move as fast as you want them to move. We have to be content with what's going on with the numbers. But the only way to be content with what's going on with those numbers is when our head is right. If my thinking isn't right, The numbers will never satisfy me. I'm going to say that again for me. If my head is not right, if my thinking, if my perspective is not right, no matter how low the number get, it will never be enough. That's where the disorders come in. That's where anorexia comes in. That's where bulimia and the body dysmorphic issues come in at. Why? Because the head, the thinking, the perspective, the way we see things, the way we see the numbers, the way we perceive what's going on isn't correct. So since it's not correct, the number will never be low enough. Or we'll get the number that we want, then we'll have surgeries, we'll have skin taken off. There's nothing wrong with that. But I heard a doctor say that it's interesting. A plastic surgeon might have been on TV. He said it's interesting, people who develop this body dysmorphic issue in their thinking. That's in your thinking. That's not in your body. When they get one part fixed, their eyes immediately fixate to another part of the body. So no matter how much you do, no matter how much I do, if my thinking is not correct, it will never be enough. It'll never be enough. And I'm tired of it not being enough. How many of you are tired of not being enough in your own heart, in your own estimation of yourself? And we fight and we post and we find cute sayings that says, I'm enough, I'm enough, I'm enough. But when the numbers aren't moving, guess what? We're mad, we're frustrated, we're angry. Why? Because it's not enough to us. Why? Because our head isn't fixed. We can't do this just for the body. The body is changing, yes. But if we don't get our thinking straight, it'll never be enough. It will never be enough. You will always struggle if you make this journey about the weight only. If you make the journey about the weight only, it will always be a struggle. Why? Because 100 pounds will never be enough. 120 won't be enough. 150, 200 pounds lost. None of that will be enough. Why? Because the thinking isn't congruent with what's going on in the body. Healing for the head. So one of the things we have to tackle is the negative conversations and the negative self-talk that is in us. I mean, this stuff has been in us for years. This stuff has been in us since we were little kids. It's been there. So we have this procedure and our body, hi Holly, our body starts changing. But our head isn't changing. And guess what? That negative conversation starts. See, you ain't as pretty as somebody else. See, your weight is not coming off. You're a slow loser. Who gives a F how fast it comes off as long as it comes off? You're considering yourself a slow loser. As long as you're a loser, who cares? We are not the same. We're going to lose weight at different rates. But I'm telling you, my sisters, if we do not get our heads healed and incongruent with what's happening in our bodies, it will never be enough. And I don't know about y'all, but I am tired of it not being enough. I am tired of the negative self-talk. I'm tired of the negative conversations that goes on in here. Look at that. Look, they've lost 48 pounds in 2 days, and look at you. That is from an enemy, the enemy called the old you. When are we going to let the old us go? Look, y'all who have lost all this weight and you holding on to your fat clothes, throw that crap out. That ain't you anymore. My husband had to catch me one day. I was getting ready just to run out of the house and run and do something. And he looked at me and he said, baby, that does not fit you anymore. There are some ways that we are carrying mindsets, tones about ourselves that we're walking around with, ladies, that don't fit us anymore. We gotta let stuff go. throw that old crap away. Throw all that stuff. Throw them big clothes away. Donate them. Look, I had a bag that sat in my back porch for a year that I'm going to take to Goodwill. Did I ever take it to Goodwill? No. Why? Because there was a fear on the inside of me telling me, girl, you better hold on to it because you never know. Well, guess what? You are not that person anymore. Get rid of it. Whatever you have to do. If you have to have a old clothes burning ceremony, get rid of it. Oh, well, that would just be terrible not to donate it. Well, it's more terrible to hold on to the fear that has us holding on to it. That's what hoarding is all about. Hoarding is a mental disorder that people cannot let stuff go. It's time to let some stuff go. It's time to let some old ways of thinking go. Old ways of looking at yourself go. What do you respond or how do you respond when somebody tell you you look good? Oh, this whole thing? Girl, you better drop that. My husband, oh, it's so funny. He told me one day I was walking out of the house and it was the day I was happening to be feeling myself. Hey, but I caught something that day that I didn't get in another day. Anyway, he looked at me and he said, you look good. And I looked at him. I said, thank you first. And then I crooked my neck a little bit. You know how we can crook our necks in that little girly, flirty way. I crooked my neck at him, had my lip gloss popping, and told him, I know I am. And walked out. Is that prideful? Is it arrogant? You got to drop that. Drop that. This old thing? Oh, I've had this thing for years. Who cares? You ain't got to tell nobody how long you've had something. You better wear it and wear it good. You make the clothing. The clothing don't make you. There's some ways of thinking we have to drop. We have to drop it. Because if not, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, girl. If we don't drop those old ways of thinking and come in congruent with the new body we have, with the new life that we have, eventually that old voice will pull us back into the fold. I'm going to say that again. If we don't drop those old ways of thinking, those old negative conversations, that inner tape that's playing in the back of our heads. You ain't good enough. You ain't cute enough. You ain't losing weight as much as somebody else. Look at you. You stalled out. You stuck. Look at you. Blah, blah, blah. And that's playing. If we don't do the work, the head work, the mental work to get that stuff squashed, to get that stuff superimposed over with positive self-talk, with positive affirmation declarations that we make about ourselves every day, that old voice will pull us back into the fold. Those of us who've stalled, take a look. Be honest. Oh, my stars, girl. If you got to be able to be honest with somebody, you have to be able to be honest with yourself and tell yourself the truth. Make a list. Keep a list. Be honest. How much am I eating? Number one. Number two, what's driving the eating? What's driving the snacking? I got a very sweet friend who had the procedure done, and she's been at a stall for a while. And so we're chatting, and she tells me, well, I've been eating popcorn late at night. I'm like, really? Yeah. Then she goes on to say, I've been stressed out. So there's her answer right there. And she didn't even know she'd given her answer. Number one, she started nibbling. She started eating slider foods that has zero nutrition and just can slide right through us, right? So she started eating slider foods. She started doing this, doing that. Now she's been at a stall for a while. And guess what? She's stressed out. So she never connected the two. The emotional component to it all. But I'm gonna have a little tidbit for her when I see her again. So instead of just doing what you normally do, instead of going back to those old defaults, I did a video on that. You can find that too. We got to reset our default. We have to reset our default until it's one that's pushing us forward. and not back. So what's pushing the eating? What's pushing the grazing? What's pushing the nibbling? What's pushing it? Is there something that we're just not dealing with? And it's easier. It's so much easier. Why? We learned how to do this. It served us for a little while. We're not those people that can eat whatever the heck we want to eat and not gain weight. That's not us. Accept it and you can gain peace with it. And guess what? Just because you done had this procedure, oh baby, don't think you're one of them people now. I am not going to be under the illusion that just because I've had this incredible procedure and have gotten off a huge amount of weight, that all of a sudden I'm magically one of these people that can eat whatever I want and not gain weight. That's not how it works. We can't have the food and the weight loss too. Now that's a hard pill to take. You can't have it all. We can't have the food and the weight loss. Something's gonna give. Now whichever one you want most, that's the one you're gonna have. So do you want the food more than you want the weight loss? Do you want the food more than you want a healthy life? So it's not just about getting all skinny and pretty and wearing a size 8. Hey, but what's going on in the head? What sense does it make for us to be a size 8 on the outside, but on the inside, we're still a freaking size 26? Come on. We got to put on a new attitude, a fresh concept, a fresh perspective. Renew your mind, because if we don't do it, baby, we're going to start eating and we're going to eat our way right back up to where we started. Now, this might not apply to you, and that's okay, but I'm telling you about me. Lacey could eat some food, and if Lacey don't do the work with these books, with the word of God, I don't know if you're a Christian or not, but if I don't do the work daily, I mean every stinking day, if I don't do, I cannot afford complacency. I can't be complacent not one single day. Why? Because I know where I came from. Where did you come from? Whew, I'm going to take a breath right there. Where did you come from, my sisters? Where were you mentally in your thinking when we blacked out for eating? I know I did. I could eat myself into a food hangover, then get up the next day and do the same thing all over again. Where did you come from? How serious is this thing for you? Is it just about the weight? Because I'm going to say it again. If you make it just about the weight, you're going to struggle. If I make this, I'm making this thing personal. So don't think just because I'm on here talking that I'm not the first one getting hit, because I'm dealing with this too. If I make this about the numbers, when I step on the stupid scale, if I make this just about the number, I'm going to be disappointed, because the number ain't going to ever move as fast as I want it to. So I'm going to have to make this about something more beautiful, bigger, more incredible. I have to make this about allowing the person that I was always meant to be out. And how do I do that? I have to have my mind in line with what's going on the outside. I'm at the gym working out, running on the treadmill. I need to do something up here. Right? We all do. We all do. Have a non-negotiable list. What's a non-negotiable list, you ask? A non-negotiable list is a list of the things that you have decided that you will and will not do, that you will and will not eat. There has to be a list. Oh, this is so good. For me, there is no such thing as everything in moderation. That is a lie. I'm going to say that again. There is no such thing as everything in moderation. I tell you what, you can't tell that to an alcoholic that's been abstinent for 5 years that they can have a wine cooler as long as they have it in moderation. Now, you might be able to have chocolate in moderation, baby, and that's fine. But me, I can't do it. Why? Because I remember where I came from. You can have bread in moderation. That's awesome. Everything in moderation. That is a license. That is a license for illegal activity. I'm going to say that again. That everything in moderation is a license for illegal activity. I'm going to say that one more time. That's just awesome. That lie of everything in moderation is a lie. And it is a license for illegal activity, for illegal eating. Oh, I had a problem with Oreos before, but all I have to do is eat 5, as long as it's in moderation. I can't do moderation. I have to have a list. This is what I will not mess with. Why? Because I can't handle that. I couldn't handle that well. You got to be honest with yourself to have this list. You have to be honest with yourself. If you can't have popcorn in moderation, you need to put that on the list that I don't need it. Well, what about if I go to the movies? Pack some grapes. Bring some cheese. Give me some thumbs up or some hearts or something. Bring some cheese or pack you some grapes. And wait until you're hungry at the movies to eat it. I can't have a cup of popcorn. I can't have a small bag of J's. I can't have just a little. I can't have a palm full of Lay's potato chips. That ain't working for me. That moderation, that's a lie for illegal eating. That's a lie for illegal. That is a lie and a license for illegal activity. You got to know yourself. Now, your non-negotiable might not be mine, but I know I can't do it. I can't do bread. The bread basket at the restaurants? Oh, no. No, we don't need any bread. Why? Because I don't do bread. I can't handle bread. I couldn't before. What would make me think on this other side of the river that I can do it? When my thinking isn't in line. And my perspective isn't lined up with the truth of who you are. Be truthful about who you are, sister. If you can't handle hard candy, you couldn't do it before. What make you think you could do it now? We just got to be real. This is the holiday season and it's about to get on and munching up in here. Layla, she just put down fast food. Yep, me either. No, I am not going to get no lettuce wrap at McDonald's. So it's in my best interest to leave it alone. Come on, somebody. Can we just be honest? Be honest with yourself and don't think that you are a normal eater. We've never been not a normal eater. So what do? You're going to have to do the things you need to do. What's your non-negotiables? What's the things that you've decided I'm not messing with? Get peace about that. Let me take a deep breath because I've been screaming. Girl, I got so fired up. Food addiction, you right. Food addiction ain't no joke. And we have to realize where we are and not think now because I'm 125 pounds smaller that I can handle Sprite. The devil is a liar. I can't do Sprite. Now when I could drink 2 liters by myself before? Well, everything in moderation? No. That is a license for illegal activity. Get your list together. Get your list together. Be honest with yourself. Don't make it just about the numbers. I hope I'm continue to come through okay. A little disruption. I'm not sure where my power is, my battery life is, but I just wanted to, this one last thing I wanted to share is to go for your best. Strive for your best. Quit aiming low. Even those of you guys who are on the journey, whatever your goal is, stick to it. Push to it. TD Jake says, I'd rather reach for it, shoot for it, run after it and miss than not to run at all. I really want to, in the future, do a 5K. I want to do a 5K sooner or later. I cannot allow the fear to keep me from pushing forward. Even if I don't win, even if I don't place, who cares? I'm going to stop aiming low. We aim low because we're afraid that we're not going to hit the high mark. So we keep it safe. We stay in the comfort zone. But those of you, I've seen some of you guys weight goals, and they're awesome. And we're not making it about the numbers. But just to tell you this, I went by my mom's house one day, and she was talking, and immediately people will start to tell you, "Oh, you're so small. Oh, you're so small. When are you going to stop?" And I told her, "I love you, but I'm gonna stop when I get done." Bam. Now, what did I mean by that? I meant don't allow somebody else's fear keep you aiming low. Aim high, girl. What's your goal? What's the thing you really want to do in life? How high do you want to go? Keep aiming, keep going, keep running. Keep knowing that there are more goals. When you get to your weight goal, keep going for the next thing. It just can't be just about the weight. For so long, our lives were consumed. I know mine was for 32 years, y'all. Since the age of 16, my life was consumed with the numbers. My life was consumed day in, day out with food, with diets, with being overweight, hating the way I look, blah, blah, blah. Over and over and over and over. It was a non-stop merry-go-round. I'm ready for some new goals. I am ready for some new things. I wanted to come on tonight because I was fired up. Oh, I was so fired up. So fired up to encourage my sisters. Let's go high. We're almost at the end of the year. Can you believe it? Oh, this is the end of the year. Let's have a new outlook and a new perspective. Let's go for some new things. And yes, you can do it. You can do more than that lie in the back of your head is trying to convince you that you can't. As a matter of fact, that's so good. As a matter of fact, that should be an indicator for you to run even more. Why? Because now there's an opposition. There's a fat brain in you that's saying, you can't do that. Who you think you are? You ain't strong enough. You ain't pretty enough to tell that fat brain you are a liar. And I'm going to do it anyway. Listen, my battery about to shut down. I'm going to be back again next week, baby. But I wanted to come on to share this with you guys. I hope you are encouraged. Do the work to heal your head. If we don't heal our heads, we will always struggle. And I don't know about you, but I'm about tired of struggling. So I'm going to hang up. I'm going to wish you guys a great weekend. And I'm about to do some work. I got my books here. Hey, I got all my books. And on this Friday night, I got my word here. And a notebook. And on a Friday night, I'm about to do some work up in here. Because I tell you what. It's about time to be whole. Body, soul, and spirit. You can do it. I know you can. You guys be blessed. And I'm going to be back soon. Have a great weekend. And do your work. Get healthy completely. Oh my goodness. Let's get healthy completely. So we can be the person, the woman that God intended us to be. That we were always meant to be. Let's do that. And I will see you again next week. Replay this video. There's more videos. I done some more videos that I know is going to help you. My name is Lacey. It's an honor to give you guys seed because I have some fruit. Get your non-negotiable list and I'll tell you what, it works. How do I know? Because I have mine and mine is working. You guys have a great evening and I will be